Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for May's edition of our Tech Wednesday event. My name is Anna Łyczak, and I'm product manager for Digital Guardian, which will be shown today. With me here is also present our pre-sales engineer, Maciej Jaglasz, who will take care of the second practical part of the presentation. So let's start. Digital Guardian is an American manufacturer of DLP solutions who is based in Waltham, Massachusetts. The company was established in 2003 under the name of Verdasys in response to the growing demand for solving the problem of corporate data theft. In 2014, the company decided to adopt the name of its flagship solution as a company name. Up until now, Digi has reported more than 20 patents. Digital Guardian for Data Loss Prevention is consistently a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for context-aware data loss prevention. Among the customers of Digital Guardian are 7 of the top 10 brands of the world. The company boasts of 2.5 million deployed agents in more than 60 countries. This includes deploying over 250,000 agents managed from one server. What is company mission? Digital Guardian is an advanced and powerful platform designed to protect organizations from theft and loss of sensitive and confidential data and malicious attacks from the outside. Digital Guardian guarantees the deepest visibility and the most comprehensive and advanced data protection of sensitive data. With Digital Guardian, sensitive data can be protected on the network, endpoints, and cloud. Digital Guardian can work on any platform, which is Windows, Linux, and macOS systems, and can be deployed as on-premise or a cloud solution. It's possible to integrate it with CM solutions. Key features include the monitoring, protection, and encryption of sensitive data that flows through computers, laptops, or servers. It also allows you to monitor the life cycle of data across the organization. What is solution architecture? The core elements of Digital Guardian are Management Console, DGMC, and agents which are deployed on the endpoints. DGMC is a web-based console centrally managing the entire platform. It allows you to create and manage policies, alerts, and reports. Data management policies configured in the console are forwarded and then enforced at the endpoints through installed agents. Agents they then send logs back to the console that gathers and analyzes events, then triggers alerts and reports. The console allows synchronization with Active Directory. With DGMC and agents, you can monitor the use and activity of applications and access to data by individual users and groups. It allows you to set alerts based on emails and notifications in response to occurrences in real time, and it also allows you to control access policies based on roles. Threat-aware data protection. So there are a few solutions, some kind of modules. So we have here like Digi Endpoint DLP, which helps you to stop data loss and leakage by securing endpoints. We have also data classification, which is automatic for content and context, and also there is a user-based classification. You also have here Network DLP, which helps you to stop sensitive data from leaving your network and allows you to monitor and control all communications channels, including email, web, file transfer protocols, SSLs, and applications such as webmail, blogs, and other social media. Cloud data protection, which stops data loss in cloud applications such as Office 365. And there is also data discovery, which gives you the deepest visibility and auditing of potentially vulnerable data. So key features. Basically, if you don't have visibility into your organization's sensitive data, you can't protect it. Digital Guardian Threat-Aware Data Protection Endpoint DLP module enables you to understand exactly where your organization's PAI, PCI, and PHI data is and how it's being used without requiring predefined policies. It also delivers device control and encryption. So when you install the Digi agents, they will instantly start classifying and tagging your PII, PHI and PCI data through automatic content inspection. The tags remain no matter how the files are modified or where the data goes, giving the agent persistent visibility. You can get near real-time reports on the movement and use of all sensitive data based on the data classification, the user or process, and also action, so you can set alerts for policy violations. It requires users to encrypt data written to removable devices or media. Encryption is self-contained on the device, allowing only those with an encryption key to access that information. You can control who can access devices or media and control whether or not those devices or media can be accessed outside of your organization. You can stop theft by enforcing device use policies, which helps you to identify all removable devices or media connected to your endpoints. You can identify by type, manufacturer, model number, and MAC address. You can set user prompt or block or encrypt when a user is trying to copy data to a USB device. DigitalGuardian gives you full content inspection and context awareness that is data, user, and event aware. You can set the DG agent to automatically prompt or block user activity depending on the context, then log and audit the event for forensic analysis. What is also want to mention, DigitalGuardian gives you a possibility to design policies with fine-grained controls that won't block actions that comply with corporate policy, so employees remain productive while the data stays safe. The DLP software automatically blocks only those actions that pose a threat to your organization without impacting productivity. In case of network DLP, it will monitor and control network communications to prevent sensitive data from leaving your network and support compliance efforts. DigitalGuardian inspects all network traffic, then enforces policies to ensure protection. Policy-based actions include allow, prompt, block, encrypt, reroute, or quarantine. Discover DLP provides visibility and auditing of potentially unsecured data. Automatic configurable scanning of local and network shares using discovery-specific inspection policies ensures sensitive content is discovered wherever it is located. Detailed audit logging and reports provide you with the information needed to demonstrate compliance, protect confidential information, and reduce data loss risk. Cloud data protection allows organizations to adopt cloud storage while maintaining the visibility and control they need to comply with privacy and data protection regulations. The DigitalGuardian for cloud data security provides insight and control into data as it moves to the cloud, allowing your organization to support and secure these increasingly important data storage resources. The last thing worth mentioning is DigitalGuardian's cooperation with other technology partners, which among others are first Bolton James for user classification, Cisco, which is web secure gateway, Zix for mail encryption, also integration with Microsoft, which helps you to extend DLP policies with Microsoft AIP, and also integration with Splunk, which allows you to see DigitalGuardian events in Splunk console. So this is it from the product part, and now we're moving to the practical part of presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Maciej Jaglasz. I'm pre-sales engineer at the Bakotech, and what I've prepared for you today is a working environment, working instance of an DG endpoint agent that works on this endpoint you can see now. I've prepared for you some of the examples of how can we classify fails, not only based on the content on the content patterns that are already written in the fails, but it also allows you to create a classification rules that work and classify fails based on the context, based on the where is the data coming from, where is it going to, is it saved, is it moved, what user created a file or save it as, or make a change in the file. It's going to be the first point. The second point is going to be control policies. How can we control users? How can we how and of course what we can control with DG agent, and how can we control not only the user activity but also applications. And the last part is going to show you how to basically configure a DGMC, how to create a policies, how to create content patterns, and how to make DigitalGuardian work. So the first point is, very sorry to name files in Polish, but I will be translating all the Polish phrases to English ones. First one is personal data. So in this example file, we've got, let's open this. It's a number, is Polish ID number, example 1, and in the second file on the bottom it says credit card. There's credit card number in this file. So let's open a DigiSci app, because very important thing is that DigitalGuardian endpoint agent works absolutely transparent. There's no graphical user interface to interact with the agent. All of the configuration, interaction parts, interactions are made from the DGMC, from the central console. So for the implementation purposes, there is DG provides us with a dedicated applications. One of them is DigiSci app. It allows us to see what is the classification tag that has been applied to a file. So let's open this example file, and what we can see, it says that there is a personal information in this file. It's been classified. DG classified this file, and we can see that this policy tag is permanent. So if we remove the data from the file, it stays classified. The policy tag is added permanent to this file, and we can see that there is Polish personal ID number in this example file. And let's see what's inside the last one, CCNEV2. It says that there is a credit card number inside, and we can see different policy tag, credit card in Polish, but there is no sign that this tag is permanent. If we remove the credit card number from the file, it will be automatically reclassified, and the policy tag will be deleted from this file. Well, that's the simplest thing. How can we tag a files with the DLP solution? Let's go to something more difficult. I've created here a folder. It says financial, and there are financial files inside. And what's interesting in here, let's create new file, new Microsoft Excel worksheet. It's totally blank, there's nothing inside, and let's see how DG classified this file. Back to the financials, and as you can see, it's already been classified. Why is that? Because the source folder of this file, it's financial, and we can set DG to automatically add a policy tag for all of the files that has been created in this particular path in this folder. That's the next thing. But let's do one more thing. I've got another folder. It says accountant folder, and let's create a file in here. It doesn't say anything about financial. Let's open it. And what's really important to mention that I've changed, this is still the same machine, but I've changed the user from the administrator to the accountant, and let's put something in and save as. Same location, same name. Let's replace this. Back to the DigiSci app. Let's open this file. Let me check this is proper. Right, DigiSci app again. Okay, and what can we see here? It's still financial because the accountant made a change in the file, changed something and save it as. It's another thing that we can how we can classify a file in DigitalGuardian. But let's do another thing. Let's jump to the another folder. It says important in English, and we've got some of the invoices inside. What's important to mention that the name of the file is invoice, because in Polish, and the extension of the file is PDF. Let's see what DigiSci app says about this one. Important. And again, we can see that this file is important. Why is that? There's no content inside, nothing has been found, but the file is named, and the extension of the file is PDF. I'll show you next how can we set Digi to take these two parameters under consideration and classify a file based on this. But there's another thing. Let's jump into downloads folder, and let's see what Digi says about files in the downloads folder. There's another policy tag. It says that this file comes from the outside of the company. I've downloaded this file. I can show you from Google Drive that I've created for this presentation purposes, one of these files. And if the file is downloaded from the internet, we can automatically set Digi to classify this file as it not that important, as it comes from the outside of our company, and we can then make some of the policies to treat the file which is not important less than files classified as more important things. Well, about the classification, I think that this is it. Let's jump to the control policies. Let's try to upload to the Google Drive a file that that has personal data inside. Let's try with this one. Okay, we've got a prompt here that the connection to the Google Drive has been lost. It's not true. This action has been aborted by DigitalGuardian, and there's no prompt. We cannot see, we cannot know what happened. It's not the best way to set DLP solution, because all of the users just think that they machine, their computer don't work fine, and it's something to for the help desk guys. If we don't want kind of situation, let's try another. Let's try some test. Let's try to fail. That has been tagged as important, and let's see what happens. Important and the invoice. I'm trying to send this to the test Gmail account, and we've got a prompt that this action has been blocked and recorded, and this is against policy, security company policy. We cannot do anything else. We just can abort this and go back to our email application. But if we change the domain to Barcotech, it just has been sent. So we can not only say that this file can be sent by an email, but we can say what kind of domains are we allowing to send this kind of information. So let's go back to our financial folder, and let's see what happens when we try to copy financial data outside of this particular folder. We've got another prompt, but it's a bit different than the previous one. We've got a justification here that where we can type a justification. Why are we doing this? Why are we need to do this operation? We just can type anything and click continue. The operation is allowed. So what's most important here, we not only can abort a user, but we can also inform the user that this action might not be performed, but if there is strong reason that we need to do this, and if we can't, we will slow our business. We can add this functionality to just allow users to do some kind of task with a justification. This justification goes to the DGMC to be reviewed by some security guy or a administrator if this action really was needed, and justification from the user is good, and it's with the policy, security policy, company policy security. All right, let's see another thing that we can do with a data. Let's go back to the credit card sale. All right, let's try to copy this credit card number. No, sorry, we've got another prompt that this action also is against company security policy, and we just cannot do that. How is it? How this rule works? I'll show you later. There are two. To be sure that, to be honest, there are two rules needed to perform this kind of task. One sees that we're opening with this particular application, this particular process, a file that has a credit card inside, and then it uh, stop us to do the copy operation just in this particular process. We are not totally not allowed to do the copy operation in the rest of the application. All right, this is the user control things, but let's try to open this file with a not Microsoft Word, but the WordPad application. And as we can see, we're still blocked. We can't do. We just can say, okay, the access to this file by this application, it is worth to mention, is just denied. We can't really do that. All right, so let's take a look at the DGMC. Let's go back to the dashboard, login again. And what we've got inside, there's some administration dashboard about our component status, about our SQL server, how many agents do we have, how many agents are not communicating or are powered off, and all of the information about DG processes. So we can see here licenses status. You can see that we've got 29 available licenses, 5 for the Windows Server, 5 for Linux Workstation, Linux servers, Mac Workstation, 1 for the appliance, which is Network DLP, and 49 licenses for data loss prevention. But let's jump to the policies. So as I said before, we've got control policies and classification policies. Let's see under classification content patterns, and see a content pattern for a credit card. So we've got a name, we've got a status of this content pattern. Is it active? Is it not active? Is it entity, which says regex, or query, which says dictionary? We've got a language, and here we can see a regex expression that identifies that this is a credit card number. When we've got this done, we can jump into policies, into rules, sorry. And let's see the credit card one. Yeah, here we've got it. And again, we've got a name of this classification rule. We can set is it active or not active, and we've got a category. It's very useful for the implementation purposes to categorize all of the rules and policies, and applies also for the control. What is the category of this particular rule? We set is it for Windows, Linux, or OS X, and here we can see a rule definition. We've got logical operators here, or so. This rule says that if the source of the file has this regular expression inside this content pattern that we've created before, a destination file, and this content pattern is tagged as a fail, is important for us. And policy configuration. Again. So name card status is active, category again, and it's as credit card in Polish, of course. This cannot be changed if we create a name for the classification as this one. We cannot change it later. It's like permanent one. Is this like permanent? Here you can see no. If we remove this kind content pattern when it's again checked by DigitalGuardian, when there is nothing inside, where there's no this content pattern found, it removes the backend. Fail is untagged. And we can see that this policy applies to this endpoint machine that I'm now showing to you. All right, so this is classification. Let's jump into control rules and policy. Control rules. And let's see the rule that controls copying out financial data from the financial folder. So again, we've got a name, we've got a status, category, and action. We can block, as I showed you at the beginning of this presentation, but it is not recommended because the user really doesn't know what's happening on his machine, but for some kind of operation, we still can use it. We continue, so the user doesn't know that he made anything against security policy, but the action later on can send an alert to the administrator or security person and create an event in the DigitalGuardian console that needs to be reviewed and checked. Is there really a something dangerous and bad happened, or it is just something that the user was forced to do. So continue encrypt. Of course, we can encrypt files when we copy them to the USB drives. We can display a prompt, or we can vault a particular application. It was used when I was trying to copy a credit card number from the Word document. First rule is vaulting this process, and next one reacts to this vault and doesn't allow user to make a copy action. And rule definition, it's how we define a rule. There's obviously a wizard which can help us to do it. We can choose from here what kind of the operation are we going to control. Is it does it correspond with the CD burn, related, print related, registry, process related? We can use this kind of wizard from the beginning that will help us to create a rule, but obviously it's more flexible and gives us more possibilities to design a rule, just writing this kind of rule definitions. And what we've got here, if the event operation type is fail copy, fail move, or save as, we go up, and the destination fail path doesn't say financial, and the particular fail is tagged as financial, the rule is true, and we can do those activities that we've pointed here for to be done. And policies, when we can choose what kind of rules apply to which computers or users, and we can make an exception here if we want to exclude some of the computers or some of the users from being under this policy. So from me, I think it's all. Thank you for listening us. Thank you for joining our event. And yeah, I think that's all from us. Thank you. Bye bye.